Sometimes I lie awake at night and remember how 13 years ago I watched This Means War, a romantic comedy where Chris Pine and Tom Hardy, when he was getting cast in everything, play high-tech super spies competing for the love of all women, Reese Witherspoon. And one particular scene has been freely slouching in my brain's basement, stinking and greasing the place ever since. And today, it will be your problem too.
I don't think a girl like this can handle a guy like me.
I think it could.
Really?
Easily.
Prove it. 8 p.m. Barcelona tomorrow.
I don't think so.
Remember video rental stores? They were the best place to pick up girls, right? No? Well, super spy Chris Pine is picking up girls there. He reaches for the same film she's getting to strike up a spontaneous conversation. And I really shouldn't go off on this tangent, but the film is the Vanishing remake. Ugh. That's as far as I'll go. Ugh.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You take it.
They have a polite back and forth and he says,
You know what? You're not gonna like it. It's got a twist in it and you'll see it coming from a mile away.
"Don't make me do this." Then she what twist? The Vanishing has no twist? Or does he mean the reveal of what exactly was the protagonist's girlfriend's excruciating fate? Because that's not something obvious, and if for whatever reason you think it is, it still doesn't hurt the movie. Now the Hollywood Last Second Rescue, that's the stuff to unrecommend.
No coffee, thanks.
please.
We don't drink that anymore.
This movie is bad. You should absolutely watch the Dutch original, The Vanishing, by George Slicer. Steer clear from the American remake, The Vanishing, by George Slicer. Not judging? I take the dollars too. Chris Pine says she won't like the movie, and instead of laughing it off and moving away, our leading lady launches a challenge.
And how would you know what I like?
I know movies. And women.
I know movies. And women. The writer wrote, erectedly.
Really?
Here we go, guys.
Okay. Well, then why don't you tell me what I want?
And he tries to seduce her by recommending a 74-year-old black and white European
The
film.
Lady Vanishes? Why is that?
Well, firstly, you can never go wrong with Hitchcock.
Look, I know you guys are movie degenerates like me who'd love you some Hitchcock, but you must be aware that that's not the type of film you recommend to someone you just met. You must be aware that normal, yes, normal people don't like 74-year-old black and white European films. She wasn't even getting the original The Vanishing. Is it Vanishment Day? Super Seducer here is proving to have zero social skills.
It's got comedy, drama, romance. It's a thriller. It's classy, but not stuffy.
But wouldn't you know it, the girl knows her Hitchcock.
And it is a really good choice. However, not as good as Rebecca and Notorious, Vertigo, or pretty much any of his films from 1960 to 1972.
It's almost like this movie was written by a movie person. Then she performs one of those movie cold readings which I hate, as I hate hell, all Montagues in this movie.
That one over there in Foreign, too much angst. This one over here in the sweater set, picking out animated movies, that girl will have your children named before breakfast.
I cannot emphasize enough how much I loathe these scenes where characters just happen to know from a look every single little thing about the episode's poor little bit player.
You're in real estate or something equally as unimportant. Married, a couple of kids.
You got a low-maintenance gig in the human resources industry. You had a string of bad relationships, you put on some weight.
And now you teach Zoom classes from the living room of your creekside cabin. And you lecture about inequity and...
Hey, look at how smart is the character I made up. They know everything about the other character I made up.
But what you really want to do is sit at home on the couch with some poor sap watching reality TV.
Reese explains Chris's brilliant video store game plan and... Wait. Is that JFK on comedy? Who dressed this set? My comment section? Wait, The Last Samurai? Enemy at the Gates? Is every film a comedy? They went through the trouble of doing alphabetical order but didn't care about the genres? Did MacG just ask everyone to bring whichever DVDs they had lying around at home? Considering that the same films are both in... And one more thing about the Vanishing remake. It has this preposterously stupid scene where Kiefer Sutherland's girlfriend is trying to find out his password to check his computer. Does she look around and find some ridiculously easy answer in the room? I wish she randomly starts trying out anagrams. She finally tries an anagram with his vanished former girlfriend, and in fucking deed, his password was an anagram with her name. From Diane Shaver to R Vanished. Who barbs the shaver, right? All because earlier Kiefer Sutherland mentioned doing anagrams.
Those aren't crossword puzzles. They're anagrams.
Oh, anagrams, that's really important.
That's as far as anagrams in the movie ever go.
Anagrams.
Oh, anagrams.
A clear case of a screenwriter having an idiotic idea and backtracking to add a couple sentences to fool us into thinking it was all well tied together. You don't fool me, movie. Look what you made me do! This means war!
But if you knew anything about women, or anything about me, you know that I'm perfectly capable of choosing my own movies.
Our psychic orator ends up picking The Empire Strikes Back from a shelf I value my mental health too much to try and understand. Alphabetical order was just for the ones that don't get a close angle, I guess.
Thanks. Happy hunting.
There, she showed him. Took a couple detours, but that was the scene. I was 18 years old when I watched this scene, and even then I thought it was the dumbest goddamn thing in the goddamn world in every goddamn way. I hadn't watched the Vanishing remake yet. It taught me the valuable lesson that I am here to impart, that movie characters, in general, shouldn't discuss movies. You see, movies are made by, gasp, movie people. And when movie characters made by movie people talk about movies, it feels like the aforementioned movie people don't know anything but movies. I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste my time on a movie made by someone who doesn't know anything but movies.
And it's a little obscure, so if you haven't seen it, well, thank me for introducing you to it. If you have, you'll know what a good choice it was.
And movie people not knowing anything but movies is actually a major symptom of our movie age.
It's sort of a second-tier title.
Art philosopher Noël Carroll wrote an essay in 1982 called The Future of Illusion, Hollywood in the 70s and Beyond, rolls off the tongue, in which he talks about how the new Hollywood directors were obsessed with illusions. Every film was in direct communication with every film of the same genre that came before, usually in deconstruction, revisionism. Every story structure, thematic interest is supposed to remind you of films of the past. It was the Nouvelle Vague filmmakers who worshipped American films that launched this fad, helped by the rise of auteurist criticism, which reduced film history to nothing more than the specific themes and worldviews of big-name directors. From then on, young filmmakers believed that to carve their names into movie history, they had to cement their own well-defined, solid themes and worldviews. If not straight up borrow the themes and worldviews of canonized directors. They have already proved to be worthy of study and immortality, haven't they?
Say, I just gave you my picture. Oh, you've torn your coat.
Wait up, Steve! Oh!
Movies became an endless case of, remember that film? Remember how it was a meditation on voyeurism, obsession, capitalism, the human condition, or whatever else your annoying professor with glasses and a scruffy beard wants you to say? I can do that too! Because thanks to auteurism, that's what movie history has been reduced to. Noël Carroll himself mentions how cinematic style is ignored by auteurist critics and auteurist-oriented directors, who view film in narrative, dramatic, thematic terms. I've already covered this specific subject in this video. By the way, kindly like and subscribe, and join me on Patreon so I can keep going on long digressions every time I watch a bad romantic comedy. Moving on, auteurism and the new Hollywood arrived to prove that cinema is a serious art, to be taken seriously. And one way to achieve it was through illusions, references. References used to be saved for the high arts, Shakespeare,
The stuff that dreams are made of.
the King James Bible,
Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 13. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away.
ancient Greece,
Listen to the words put into the mouth of Aeschylus by Aristophanes. He boasts of how he made the Greeks crave.
but from the 60s forward, anything was game, especially movies.
Like in a Viennese operetta.
Like a lawyer in a movie.
In his very first feature, Scorsese makes baby Keitel chat up a girl with his knowledge about a western.
The searchers It's a movie made about 11 years ago. Mago, Martin. Mago. You know, she's trying that picture of John Wayne is from that movie. Oh, hey, there was this one scene in that movie that was his name is Cicatrice, Spanish for scar. Everybody should like Westerns. Solve everybody. Yeah, that was some picture. Some picture.
Wouldn't you know it? He scores! Yeah, sure, you guys. No wonder Harvey loved Tarantino's screenplay so much.
Pam Grier.
No, it wasn't Pam Grier. Pam Grier was the other one.
The father of all illusionists,
Like a virgin.
Quentin Tarantino broadened the new Hollywood's love of illusions by including any and which reference he might take a fancy to.
Which one do you want to watch?
Shogun Assassin.
No, BB. Shogun Assassin is too long.
You know, like Kane in Kung Fu.
My favorite superhero, Superman.
That is Marilyn Monroe. That is Mamie Van Doren, and I don't see Jane Mansfield. She must have night off or something.
Pretty smart.
He even has Prime Minister Winston Churchill give Michael Fassbender a job because he knows big Hollywood producers.
Compared to, say, Louis B. Mayer.
I believe Goebbels sees himself closer to David O. Selznick.
Brief him.
I love Inglourious Bastards, by the way. I like Tarantino, in fact, and Scorsese, Altman, Bogdanovich, most of the new Hollywood. But the result of the Age of Illusions is that cinema has been made poorer. Movie illusions turn cinema into a hermetic echo chamber that speaks only to and about itself.
I watched the guys like Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney.
A group of cannibals patting their own backs.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana!
I always say that whoever wants to be a screenwriter, the last thing they should study is cinema. You learn the laws of screenwriting with one book in 1 week. The hard thing is learning things worth writing about.
Don't you sometimes hate yourself?
Constantly.
And to finally circle back, let me conclude by saying that you should never, unless it's really funny, but let's use never to hammer the message, never make a character guess another character's password through an anagram. That's just cringe, man.
Do you know who Shakespeare was, Sonny? He was a fellow who wrote the King James Bible.